repeatedly, like 50 times over, like hitting it with a Posca pen. And I say, if it was me, I'd buy the cheaper ones. There we go. I would say it's probably the wrong thing to focus on here. It must be all the miticides affecting the drone fertility. 1,000 times yes, she's a drone layer. Problem, definitely not the queen. I would not recommend that. That is way excessive. You lose all of the brood, which is, I'm going to improve that next year. Obviously make sure you find the queen and kill the queen on the small little split first, but I'm in the process of developing the no-look grafting technique, which is... Welcome to episode 78 of Let's Talk Bees. It is surprisingly one of my favorite hours of the week. I quite like getting up early on a Saturday and going and doing stuff and talking about bees. Baz's Bees says, "Morning Lawrence, thank you for your help this week regarding the angry colony. You really do yourselves proud on your customer service. Look forward to calmer inspections going forward." We do our best, our absolute best for customer service. We don't like to ever let anyone down. When it comes to queen bees and introductions though, there are so many things that go wrong. And I say to people all the time, if there's something that has gone wrong and there's anything that we've done along the way that's going to impact that, then we'll do our very best to help you out. If we send you a queen and later on that season that queen turns out to be a drone laying queen, which can happen and is very frustrating, we'll replace that queen for you free of charge. However, and I just want to be really clear here with people, we will only replace those queens free of charge if it is our queen and you send it back to us, or we see that the queen has been killed and put on a little bit of paper. Lots and lots of requests from people saying, I introduced a queen a couple of weeks ago, I've gone back in and she's a drone layer. Look at all these drones on the frames, and then can you send us a picture of the queen and send us, it has to be like our queen, and they send you a picture. They say, either I can't find the queen, there's just loads of drones everywhere, or they show you the queen and it's like this stumpy little black queen. And that's definitely not the queen we sent, because the queen we sent was kind of marked. And yeah, it's not our queen. So we will replace them. We always do our best with customer service, but we do have to draw the line somewhere. I'm not referencing you here, Baz's Bees, at all. It's just public service announcement, I guess, to make sure that people understand like what we can do and what we can't do. And I think we're quite reasonable with what we can and what we can't do. I'm just going to say it, why not? I saw one of our competitors recently change their terms and conditions, which said if you order a queen from my competitor and it arrives dead, they will offer you a 50% refund on the dead queen that they've just delivered to you. Brilliant customer service, brilliant, I love it. But anyway, yeah, no, we don't do that. So we try to look after people to the nth degree, try to over deliver, but we can only work within kind of the boundaries that we've got. Which pens should you use to mark your queens? I don't really think it makes a massive difference which ones you use. There's tons of different pens out there. I like an oil-based pen. As long as you're going to put a dab of paint on the queen, tiny little dab of oil-based paint, and then leave the queen in the cage so it dries and the other bees aren't coming in and smearing everything all over the place, then pretty much any oil-based pen will work. A lot of the graffiti pens are quite good. They're quite long-lasting. You just need to make sure, like I said, you need to isolate the queen and make sure that it dries and sets before it goes anywhere else. And then I've not found any issues with using those pens at all. So I've got a Molotov one, I've got a Clink one. The non-graffiti ones, I've got a Toma pen. Toma pens are really good. Anything but a Posca, really. Posca pens are terrible. And it just frustrates me that people continue to use them. Now, the thing that I wasn't going to say was just, I see a number of videos of people doing various things on social media, but one of them was someone marking a queen bee. So it's like, here's a video on how to mark a queen bee. Like when we mark our queen bees, we'll get the queen, we'll put her in a cage, we'll get a pen, we'll just go little dot like that, leave the queen in the cage for a couple of minutes, let her dry, let the queen walk off. That's it, really simple. The video that I saw was just someone attacking a queen bee in a push-in cage or kind of one-handed queen catcher repeatedly, like 50 times over, like hitting it with a Posca pen. And I was like, it's marked. Just let her go. Like, you're battering this poor little queen with a Posca pen. What are you doing? But anyway, anything but a Posca pen. Posca pen is water-based. So I guess the argument is like water-based is better for the queens, but as long as you leave it to dry and you leave it to cure, it's going to have off-gassed by then. And I've been using oil-based pens for years. There's no fertility issues. There's no issues with queens dying. The only issue kind of works with both pens really is when you're painting, I shouldn't laugh, when you're painting them, just don't try and get it everywhere. When you're taking the pens out, this is the problem that most people get. You'll take the pen out and they'll kind of look at it and say, right, there we go, I've got a queen, and they go to put it and they push down. They get the pen and they push the pen, the little retractable nib, and a massive gush of paint comes out. That's not how the pens work. Get the pen, go pump out all the paint, wipe off all the excess, wipe it again, wipe it a third time, wipe it a fourth time, then one little dab on your queen. Don't kill it. Don't try and repeatedly attack it 20 times with a Posca pen inside a one-handed queen clip. And that's it. Tom says, what is the difference between your premium queens and non-premium? We bought some premium, so we are curious. As you know, all of the different bees have different traits and different genetics. Now, we try to bring our best genetics that we possibly can to Black Mountain Honey and to our customers. Now, it's a case you can have good queens that you graft from, and then you're at the mercy of the local drone. So it's not just about the genetics in the maternal side, it's about the genetics in the paternal side, but then also like your location, your topography, your ability to restrict the drone mating to the drones that you actually want. So I would say the difference between our standard queen and our premium queens just covers and straddles all of those little bits. They might be slightly more premium maternal lines, calmer maternal lines. They might be slightly better paternal lines that we're using. There can be different areas where we're able to achieve different mating successes. So the premium ones go into the area where we know the isolation is going to be better than the standard ones. Now, are we talking huge differences here? Probably not, but marginal differences on top of an already very good product can make the difference in those weeks or 2 weeks where you get intense kind of honey flow. So we've seen that. We think the premium one's a little bit calmer, produce a little bit more honey. I would say they're the two traits that you're going to see. But as I said, we're talking margins here. But at the other end of the spectrum, if people are thinking, oh, well, I don't want to spend £50 or whatever it is on a premium queen, are the normal ones just as good? I would say, well, yeah, go back to it. It is marginal gains. A lot of people say, which one should I buy then? And I say, if it was me, I'd buy the cheaper ones. There we go. And a lot of people still go ahead and buy the premium ones there because they say, well, I want the best of the best, so I'm going to go with the premium. But you'll be happy with both. Chris says, morning, Lawrence, do you believe that miticides in beeswax is affecting drone fertility? Drone fertility, I would say, is probably the wrong thing to focus on here. I think mismanagement of drones is far worse. I see everyone doing this, which is, oh yeah, we don't use miticides because it's bad for the bees. So what we do is we just take out 2 frames of drones and just uncap them all and chuck them away, and all the mites are in there. And then people say, queens aren't getting mated. Must be all the miticides affecting the drone fertility. It's the same people that say that chuck away all the drones that are in their colonies for varroa control, and then they moan that their queens aren't getting mated. And I was like, there may be some connection there. I'm very much a man of loving the drones. Like, I put extra drone foundation in and I let the drones go wild and get as many as I can in the colonies. We don't have many mating issues. Like, our success where we get our queens mated is very, very high. So I'm not looking at it and thinking, there's drone fertility issues there. For us, it's not an issue. Danny says, I bought a queen from yourself and introduced her perfectly fine, but on my 7-day inspection, she had laid absolutely nothing. Now, I know the weather has been really crap, so hopefully when I do my inspection today or tomorrow, I see that she's now been laying. Is it normal for a queen to not lay if the weather takes a turn? 1,000 times yes. People saying, I bought a queen and I put her in the colony and she's not doing anything. She's not up to scratch. No, I'm not saying this for you, Dan. I'm just saying, I'm paraphrasing for customers here. And I say, well, like, if there's something wrong with the queen, we're more than happy to put it right. We stand by our product here. Send me a few pictures, and we always like to have a top-down picture and a picture of some of the frames, and just send me 5 or 6 pictures showing a variety of different things with the queen. And I'll let you know, I'll give you my thoughts and give you a bit of advice on what's going on. And they've all sent the pictures back, and every single one, bar none, this week have come back, and I've seen the following, which is frames with a bit of brood on, maybe, yeah, a little bit spotty, the brood, but not the worst brood, not the best brood. Queen's still there, and then on the first frame, no stores, like none, bone dry. Second frame, bone dry. Third frame, nothing, it's just a frame of nothing. Fourth frame, you get the picture, is just bees, a little bit of brood, a queen, and nothing else. No pollen, no cap stores, no open stores, no nectar, no food, like literally no food. It's like they've not been fed for weeks. And then they go back to the question of the queen, like, oh, I bought a queen off you and it's not laying, is she okay? And it's like, the problem, definitely not the queen. And like, I can prove to people that it's not the queen because that colony there, and this is the advice I've been giving people all week, that colony there, take your supers off, feed them 6 to 8 litres of 1-to-1 syrup over a week, and then if she's not laying and you can't see eggs and larvae, then we'll replace the queen. Like, I guarantee she'll be laying. The feed will kickstart her. The good summer weather will kickstart her. It can take up to 3 weeks for the queens to properly come back into lay anyway. Fix the dry brood box by giving them some nice incoming food spread over a week, 1-to-1 sugar syrup, simulates a flow, stimulates that queen. and then you can come back and have a look at the queen. And if there's an issue, we always fix it, you know that. But I suspect there won't be an issue and you'll have a really nice, perfect, plump queen going around doing everything that she needs to do. Angus says, good morning, I'm grafting this weekend. Any suggestions? Be quick when you're doing it. A damp tea towel over the cells is good just to keep them moist. If you're taking your time, you don't want them to dry out. Go for the smallest ones you possibly can. Timing the eggs, waiting for the eggs to hatch and then getting them out at the right time. So it's about timing the larva. So you're timing the eggs to hatch so you can access the larva at about 6 hours old. I can't see the larva very well at 6 hours old. Like I'm going in and I'm looking and my eyesight's pretty good. Like I've got good eyesight. So I'm thinking anybody who's got bad eyesight, I think it's really difficult. Not to get the larva out, but to be able to see the correct age of larva. I'm in the process of developing the no-look grafting technique, which is you're gonna take a frame of eggs, you're gonna do a thing with that frame of eggs and put it in a certain place and take it out in a certain time. And then you don't even need to look. You're gonna know that all of that frame is gonna have the correct size larva in there or within the tolerances that you want. And then I use a Chinese grafting tool and I just take my frame and I look in and say, right, I want that one there. There'll be a bit of that, you don't want to graft the eggs, but then I take the grafting tool and I just kind of put it in. Like I'm looking at the camera at the same time and I just get it out. But if you get it right, you get a good Chinese grafting tool with the bamboo filament ground down so it's nice and thin. You don't have to look when you graft. You just know that you've got the cell walls like that. And if you just poke it down, it kind of just curls round at the edge like that. So you can just graft and just kind of come out and they're just there. And then like the thing I like about the Chinese grafting tool is the pickup I find is really, really easy. It's like capillary action. You're just getting this little tiny larva to stick on the filament. But what I really like about the Chinese grafting tool is you can be super, super accurate and delicate when you're putting the larva down. Go in and really place it down nicely. So they're the things that I would look out for. Keep the larva nice and moist. Focus on clean pickup and clean takedown of whatever grafting tool that you're using. I see a lot of people do that when I've seen the things. People can pick them up fine. It's the putting them back down where the damage is done a lot of the time. For grafting colonies though, pollen. Feed them pollen substitute if they need it, or if you've got your own collected pollen, feed them that. Don't feed them generic, non-irradiated pollen, good way of getting disease in there. And then feed them one-to-one syrup. You need a good amount of syrup going in there, a good amount of carbohydrates, and obviously you need to set it up to make sure that they are properly hopelessly queenless first. James says, what's the best method to replace old brood frames? My nuke from another supplier has plastic spacers which are not spacing nicely with my Hoffman frames. I want to slowly replace them. Oh, there's a number of different ways to replace brood frames. So you could do a shook swarm where you just have a brand new box, brand new frames of foundation, you shake all of the bees from your old box onto them and you discard all of the old frames. Now, I would not recommend that. That is way excessive, but it's a valid way of getting them across. I'll go through all of them. The downside with that is you lose all of the brood, which is obviously not what we want to do. Another way of doing it is to just get another brood box. So take that additional brood box and just put it on top. So you've got your original brood box with all of the frames that you don't want, and then your new brood box with all of the frames that you do want. The bees are going to start at the bottom and they're just going to kind of build up, so then they'll be filling both of those boxes. All you do is you find your queen, put her in the top box, queen excluder in the middle. So you've got old box with all the old frames, queen excluder here, new box with all the new frames and your queen. Give it a couple of weeks for all of the brood in the bottom box to emerge. Might be a little bit longer than that if you've got drones down there as well. But once it's all emerged, you just take that box away and then you're back to exactly what you want, which is your new brood box with the queen in, with all of the new frames, and then the bottom brood box just goes away. That is a way of doing it. There are other methods that you can use, which are just, it's like Bailey comb exchange is what it's called, where it's just a slower, more gradual way where you're moving the frames that you don't want out to the side and replacing it in the middle with newer frames of foundation. I would say if you've got an extra brood box, just double them up. It's so much easier. If you've not, Google Bailey comb exchange, just follow the Bailey comb exchange and it will get you through it. It's a lot more work, so I would go with the other one. Stuart Whiteman says, hi, I'm getting my first ever nuke today. Would you feed them one-to-one and how much? Thanks. So yes, I would feed them one-to-one. Anyone who buys nukes from us at Black Mountain Honey, we try and give them like as much information as possible. I'm going to improve that next year. So next year, people are going to have like their very own like regimented feeding plan and telling them what to do at different stages throughout the season. But I think for anybody getting a nuke, a 6-frame nuke, the best practice is to feed. I would take your nuke, I'd put it on the hive stand today, I'd open up the entrance, I'd let them fly out, give them 24 hours to orientate. It's nice weather, so 24 hours will be sufficient. The next day, middle of the day, nice warm part of the day, take the nuke off the stand and put your beehive on it, transfer the frames over one by one. Nice if you can see the queen, don't worry if you don't see her, just get all the bees in and then tap out all of the bees from the nuke so you know that the queen isn't in there, and then leave them for the day, and then the following day come back in and start feeding them one-to-one sugar syrup. Make sure that the bees are taking the sugar syrup down. So put the feeder on, whatever configuration you've got, then dribble a little bit of syrup down through the whole of the feeder or the whole of the polyashford feeder, whichever one you've got, and don't go until you see the bees feeding. Once you see the bees feeding, then all is good. And I would say maybe 6 to 8 litres of sugar syrup is needed to get them to a point where you're going to put this queen excluder on. Now, it might be 2 litres, it might be 12 litres, I don't know. The trigger for you, the next stage here is going to be, you've got a 6-frame nuke going into, say, when you're looking down from the top, you've got 6 frames of bees and 4 frames of emptiness. Once you've got 8 frames of bees and 2 frames of emptiness, stop feeding, put the queen excluder on, get your super on, and all should be good. Joseph says, I have a small nuke-sized queen-white colony. Can it be combined with a large queenless colony? If so, what's the best method? It depends how small it is. I find one of the easiest ways of combining small colonies. Say you've got a colony that's on 2 or 3 frames and you want to combine it. Easiest way in the world. Take the nuke, go and take it somewhere else, pick up the bees, shake all of the bees out, let them fly in to wherever they want to fly in. There'll probably just be another colony next door. If there isn't, put the donor colony where it is and just kind of compress everything round, and then just go and take the frames. If the frames are good, put them in to a colony, boost the brood, boost the stores. Obviously make sure you find the queen and kill the queen on the small little split first. But you can overcomplicate things by trying to kind of like try and get a box of 2 frames and put it on another one with newspaper, and you just don't need to. With a small colony like that, just lift them up, shake them out, let them fly. They'll go into where they want to go in because you've removed the hive away, and then you're back to square one. Hope you have a good one, and I'll see you all next week.